Do you struggle with understanding the Pinterest algorithm? I get it. Today, I want to teach you all you need to know about the latest update and how you can use my fresh pin strategy to attract the right clients and customers to your business. My strategy will save you 2 hours or more a week on your Pinterest workflow, but gives you more exposure on Pinterest. Sounds good? Let's do this. Hi there, I'm Katie of whatskatieupto.com, and I'm a Swiss blogger and Pinterest expert. And today I want to teach you about fresh pins and the latest Pinterest update. So what are fresh pins and how can you create them to work smarter, not harder? To answer this question, let's back up real quick. And also don't forget to grab your free guide on how to get 10 new clients to your business in the next 10 days with Pinterest in the description below. Now, for years and years, people would grow their Pinterest accounts by repinning other people's pins. You saw an image that related to one of your boards and you would repin that other person's pin. Now, this has changed completely. Now, our primary goal as a content creator and small business should be to focus on our own pins rather than repinning other people's content. And most importantly, fresh pins. Fresh pins are pins with a brand new pin image Pinterest has never seen before. And maybe not pinning other people's content comes to a shock to you because repinning other people's pins has been a part of your Pinterest strategy for a long time. And pinning only your own pins while pinning a lot could be a lot more work, right? Now I agree and I got you covered. So here's my easy fresh pins strategy so that you can create consistent fresh pins that rank high on Pinterest and drive a ton of traffic to your products. Alright, so as a first step, I would like you to decide on how much you want to pin to Pinterest each day. Now, I'm just here inside of Tailwind, and I use Tailwind to schedule all my pins to Pinterest. They're an official Pinterest partner, so it's totally okay to use them. Now, it's very important to pin consistently on Pinterest. This way, you're signaling to the Pinterest algorithm you're a valid account and you create helpful content for your audience. Now, the more consistent and helpful you are, the more Pinterest will show your pins to your audience and you will reach more potential customers. Now, I recommend you pin between 15 to 25 pins a day. And I use a scheduler like Tailwind to do exactly that. Now, 15 to 25 pins is just a range to help you. And it's actually coming from Tailwind because they have analyzed hundreds of accounts and they have found that the Tailwind user who pin between 15 and 25 pins per day are the most successful pinners. So that's why I recommend you to pin that amount too. So you can just go here on the left and go to scheduled pins. So here on the right, you see exactly when specific pins are going out of Tailwind to Pinterest. Now this varies from day to day and these times are optimized according to Tailwind and when your audience is online. So you boost your pins the best way you can. Now, if you go here on the left, you can go to your schedule and then head over here to recreate your schedule. And then you can see, you can set how much you want to post per day, and I have set it to 20, but you can do 15 or 25 or whatever makes sense for your business. Now, these are just pins that I have created myself. So all of these are unique and fresh pins. And I can already hear you going like, oh my God, 15 to 25 pins a day, and I'm not allowed to repin other people's pins. What the heck? Let's quickly move into step number 2 that will make this more clear. And I promise you can do this and it takes less time than you think. So let's jump quickly into a post that I've written on my blog, but this could be any piece of content that you create on a regular basis for your business. It could also be products. Now we have set our goal to pin about 15 to 25 pins every day. So how can you create this much pins without spending hours on Pinterest. Now, the secret to your Pinterest success lies in creating multiple images, so pins, per blog post or product that you create. Now, this is actually what Pinterest wants you to do. So yes, creating more than one pin image for the same post and URL is okay. As long as each pin has a new image, it will be considered fresh, even if it goes to the same product. So here's an example of a post I've written, and if we click on the Tailwind extension button here, you can see that I've created all these pins for this piece of content. And all of these pins, when I pin them to Pinterest, will lead to this single blog post. Now, why do we care about this? Now, the Pinterest algorithm favors fresh pins over older pins. So every pin Pinterest has already seen on the platform does not count as a fresh pin and is shown to less people. So if you create only one pin per blog post or per product, this one pin will only be seen as new or fresh by the algorithm one single time when you pin it to Pinterest first. So if you create several Pinterest pins per blog post or product, you will have X times the amount of fresh or new pins to post to Pinterest instead. And you're also allowed to repin your fresh pins to maximum 10 boards. So if we go back to Tailwind, and we go to drafts, you can see that I've uploaded a pin here into the scheduler, and I could go ahead and create additional pins here, and I'm allowed to pin this pin to 10 boards. So I could go here and then choose 10 boards that I want to pin this pin to. Now, this would obviously have to make sense of what you're talking about to pin that pin to 10 boards, but you are allowed to pin a fresh pin to 10 boards. So if you create 10 pins for a new product or a new post, and you can pin it to 10 boards, that's 100 fresh pins you can pin over the next weeks, right? So this way you will get to 15 to 25 pins a day very fast. So let's say if you create, for example, a new post every week, so 4 posts a month, you will have no trouble filling up your queue here. Now, I know this is advanced stuff, but check out my post on how often you should pin to Pinterest and my pins per day calculation to fully understand how many pins you need to create every single month. Now, let's look at the factors of fresh pins in more detail as a next step to make this thing really clear. I'm just here on the Tailwind Help Center, and I will link this article in the description below for you to check out. But they say that fresh pins are defined by Pinterest as images or videos that they haven't seen before. You can create several images that link to the same blog post, page, or product listing, and each of those would be fresh when saved to Pinterest for the first time. For example, fresh pins can come from creating new images for links you've previously shared to Pinterest. So new images count as new content, even if it's linked to an old blog post or old products. So a fresh pin could either be a new image and leading to a new URL, or a new image leading to an old URL, so a blog post or product. So you see, the only thing that Pinterest really cares about are new pin images. So yes, you can go ahead and create new images for old blog posts as well, old products as well, and Pinterest will consider them fresh and prioritize them in the feed and show it to a lot more people. So on the other side, what is considered as a duplicate pin? You can also go and check this out here more. Now, Pinterest will consider pins with an image and URL combination that Pinterest has seen before as a repin. So anything that has the same image that leads to the same product or the same content that it has seen before is a repin. So is it never okay to pin an old pin again? Now, as I've mentioned, you can pin your new pin to 10 boards, and after that, if we go back here, you are still allowed to repin content if you think it's relevant after some time has passed. Now, this is especially relevant, for example, for seasonal content. So if you have a Thanksgiving pin, you can for sure repin them the next year, and so on. You just want to make sure that you wait at least 3 months before repinning a pin once you have pinned it to your 10 boards, as I've mentioned here. Now, in our final step, I want to talk about how to optimize your workflow so you get really fast at this and you save a ton of time. And I love to use templates to create my fresh pins. Now, if you go back into here, now I understand that making 5 to 10 pin versions for each blog post can be time consuming. And I don't want you to spend hours on Pinterest either. So you should focus your energy on your business and not on Pinterest, right? So that's why I recommend you use templates to make your life 10 times easier. So what I did is I created 10 pin templates for blog posts or products. And then when you have a new product or a blog post, you change those pin templates so they look new and address the topic of that new product or blog post. And this will save you hours. Now, there are so many free resources online that help you make your own Pinterest templates. And my favorite tool to use is Canva. It has an entire section with beautiful pin templates that you can use. And the best part is that you don't need to subscribe to the pro version. The free version is more than good enough. So if you've created your new Canva account, you can simply go to create a design here, type in pin, press it here, and this is already the perfect size for a pin on Pinterest. And then you can simply scroll the templates Canva has already designed for you, like here, and choose templates that you like, such as, for example, this one. And then what I would do now is customize this template that it matches my brand. So I would add my logo, my domain, maybe a call to action, and then just create 10 templates that you can use over and over again. So if you create a new post or product, you can just go ahead and switch up the image here and maybe adjust the text and the colors, but the whole framework of the template is exactly the same. And then I would do this 10 times and you're literally done in seconds. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of our fresh pin strategy. So what I recommend you to do is create multiple pins for your new blog post. So for example, like I did here, 5 to 10 pins per blog post. Then I would go ahead in Canva and create my pin templates, as you can see here. So for example, if I want to share 10 fresh pins per post or product, I will create my 10 templates that I can come back to and adjust every time I create something new. And then I would go ahead and batch my pins and my content to create all pins you need for that month or every other week, and you feel in control of your pinning game and you are ahead of your work, and you can stop worrying about Pinterest and go back to focusing on your business. Now that's it from me. I'm sure you know now exactly how you can use my fresh pin strategy to save 2 hours or more a week on your Pinterest workflow. I'm Katie, and if you loved this strategy, don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell button below so you never miss one of my videos. I post a new Pinterest video every Tuesday. Now, talk to you soon. Tschüss!